Hello and welcome to lesson number 13 of the Fundamentals of Slovenian Grammar course. So in the last two lessons, we had a look at this format of ours that should make Slovenian grammar easier to understand. And so we said that we always have the English and then the Slovenian and then the grammar explained. And for example, zajtrk and jajce and banana and zajtrk and chai, limona and med, those are our nouns, and we know that they're nouns because they are colored and because they have cases in the superscript like accusative and instrumental. Those are only that's only the world of nouns. And then we said that the verbs are pretty easy to spot because they end in a ti and they can have something extra in the brackets if they're irregular, and the abbreviations first, second, and third give away a verb as well, because first, second, and third can only be person. It's like first person, second person, third person, someone further away. So I eat, you eat, he or she eats. And so we can be pretty confident of verbs as well, and then everything else is just pretty easy to, just by process of elimination, pretty easy to see what we're left with. And that, like for example, for breakfast is za zajtrk, so za has to be for. And so in today's lesson, we will put all of this to use. So let's go over some examples. I know Slovenian, and then I will always do first, third, second. So if you want to do these in the form of an exercise, just pause the video, okay? I'm not gonna wait that long to not make the video too long, but when I show the third row, you can pause, and then you can yourself, if you know enough about Slovenian grammar, you can try figuring out the second row. If you're a complete beginner, obviously, then just go over these without pausing. So I know Slovenian is jaz znam slovensko. I know Slovenian again. Znam slovensko. I don't know Slovenian. Jaz ne znam slovensko. I don't know Slovenian again. Ne znam slovensko. Do you know Slovenian? A ti znaš slovensko? Do you know Slovenian? A znaš slovensko? Don't you know Slovenian? A ti ne znaš slovensko? Don't you know Slovenian? A ne znaš slovensko? He doesn't know Slovenian. On ne zna slovensko. She doesn't know Slovenian. Ona ne zna slovensko. So the first thing obviously to point out is the missing pronouns. So we can say jaz znam slovensko, and in my opinion we should say that as beginners because it's important to learn the word jaz, which means I, because it's obviously a very, very useful word. However, we should also practice not saying jaz, because in Slovenian both are equally as valid. You can think of it as a coin flip, you can think of it as a 50-50, but I would, if anything, I would say that the no pronoun version, the znam slovensko, is more common than the jaz znam slovensko. It's probably more common, yeah. So you can say jaz znam, or so you can include the words jaz and ti and on and ona. Jaz is I, ti is you, on is he, ona is she, but you don't have to. And so that's why I provided those as well. Now, don't worry, these examples are here primarily just to help us practice this whole format thing. Like, we will cover both verbs and pronouns in future lessons in a lot of detail. So don't worry if you don't know what's going on right now. Grammar-wise, in that second row, we're just focusing on reading the format, okay? So in terms of reading the format, znati is a verb. We see the ti. And then what the red text is telling us is singular first person. That's I. Singular first person is I. So znati in that particular version is znam. znam, or jas znam. Now, if we have a look at the word jas, then jas is saying one / nominative. Now, jas can't be anything else other than one. It's jas is always singular, it's I, but it is in the nominative case in that sentence. So jas is both in the nominative case in the third row, because it's in the base form, and it's also telling you put it, or rather keep it in this form in the sentence above. We'll explain why that is in future lessons. For those interested, it's because it's the subject of the sentence. The nominative, besides being the base form case, is also the case that marks the subject of the sentence. More on that in future lessons, don't worry. So, similar example, znati, and then it says 1/2, that's singular, but second person. So we're dealing with one person, but it's not first person, it's you. So singular second person, that's you. And so znaš is you know, from znati. And similarly here we have zna, and zna is the third person singular, so either he or she. So going by judging just by the verb, we can't know if zna is an on or a ona. It can be both. Okay, so next page. I understand English. Jas razumem angliško. I understand English, no subject. Razumem angliško. I don't understand English. Jas ne razumem angliško. I don't understand English, no subject. Ne razumem angliško. Pardon? Do you understand English? A ti razumeš angliško? Do you understand English, no subject? A razumeš angliško? Don't you understand English? A ti ne razumeš angliško? Don't you understand English, no subject? A ne razumeš angliško? He doesn't understand English. On ne razume angliško. And she doesn't understand English is ona ne razume angliško. And again, if we take a look at 3 random examples, here we have razumeti, and it is saying singular, first person, that's I, and so razumem. Razumem is I understand. Here we have razumeti 1/2, that is the singular second person, which is you, that's ti, and the verb is razumeš, so that's you understand. And here we have singular / third person. The singular third person is either a he or a she. The verb is the same in both cases. It is razume. Razume. One thing I forgot to mention is the orange. We've never had the color orange before. To not go into too much unnecessary detail right now, orange just means keep the word as it is. Okay, don't change anything. We'll explain everything everything that has to do with orange verbs, not verbs, orange words in future lessons. But for now, it's just keep it exactly the same as it is. Just copy it. It's one of the rare words in Slovenian that does not change, that doesn't come in different versions. One more slide. I speak French. Jaz govorim francosko. Or govorim francosko. I don't speak French. Jaz ne govorim francosko. Or, if we get rid of the jaz, ne govorim francosko. Do you speak French? A ti govoriš francosko? And do you speak French, no subject? A govoriš francosko? Don't you speak French? A ti ne govoriš francosko? Don't you speak French, no subject? A ne govoriš francosko? He doesn't speak French. On ne govori francosko. And she doesn't speak French. Ona ne govori francosko. So perhaps we can just mention 2 more things, and that is that yes, no questions in Slovenian are formed with the word a. You just put a in front of the sentence, and then a question mark at the end. That is a yes/no question. The other type of questions are questions with question words, but there we have words like when, who, why, how, right? So it's that question word that tells us it's not a yes/no question, but yes/no questions is just a. And as you can see, negation, generally, to negate a verb, to say not, to not sleep, to not whatever, is ne in the present tense. So it's jaz govorim francosko, jaz ne govorim francosko. Or ti govoriš francosko, ti ne govoriš francosko. And if we want to change those into questions, we just add a at the beginning. A ti govoriš francosko? Do you speak French? A ti ne govoriš francosko? Don't you speak French? And that's pretty much it for today's lesson. Again, I know this must be so difficult, or just like a ton of new information and the weird format and so much grammar, but again, this is my best effort at making the grammar as easy to comprehend and explain as possible, and hopefully this format will help us in the future. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I hope you learned something new, and I hope you're progressing on your Slovenian journey, and I hope to see you in the next one. So thank you and take care.